Hotel staff of Reddit. What's the most NSFW moment you have witnessed at your hotel? Story 1. One of the maids called me to a room for help because it had been the location of an extremely messy orgy from a touring ice show. The room was covered in bodily secretions and fluids. There were used contraceptives thrown everywhere and half the furniture was busted. The poor maid was in tears because she thought that she'd have to be the one to clean it all up. The hotel management called in a professional cleaning company who wore disposable suits, respirators, and eye protection. They got rid of most of the stuff in the room and charged a fortune to the ice show. Story 2. I was a maid at a hotel when I was 19. The hotel didn't allow pets, but people still brought pets anyways. One room was trashed and covered in dog feces and pee. I asked the other maid who had to clean it, and she said it has to be us. I said nope, and walked out. That's the kind of thing you gotta hire outside for. Story 3. I worked at the front desk of a luxury hotel. One night, the elevator doors opened, and a completely naked woman stumbled out covered in blood. It turned out that she was epileptic and had a seizure in the shower, fell, cut herself, exited her room, and ended up locking herself out. It was a truly terrifying 25 minutes of trying to piece together what had happened. I can't imagine just how scary that would be for both the woman and OP. One moment you're peacefully in the lobby doing your job, or you're at a hotel taking a shower, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into that frightening situation. Story 4. I was a night shift security guard for a motel right next to the biggest casino in my state. It was common for drug addicts to hang out around the property. One time this guy staying in a room at the motel did a little too much drugs and had a freak out. He was running around the walkways naked. I had to ward him away from people's rooms so they wouldn't be disturbed. He ended up jumping off the second-story balcony and hit the ground hard. He stumbled up and took off across the street and into a car dealership. Wasn't my problem anymore. Story 5. Many years ago, I worked at a very nice casino resort as a valet. One of our regulars pulled up in his nice BMW, and I went to help him. I wrote up his ticket, got his keys, and offered to help load up his luggage on a bell cart while we waited for a bellman. When I opened the trunk and went to lift the suitcase, I just about threw my back out. I wasn't prepared for it to be so heavy. I gave it another go and heaved it onto the bell cart and heard a sound of someone grunting in pain. Long story short, a prostitute who was banned from the property was stowed away in there so she could get up to his room. Story 6. Sex, drugs, a simple place to shower and clean up for a day if you're a bit homeless. Get some Wi-Fi or a break from your place if it's awful, or your home has a maintenance problem or emergency. If a man brings a younger female guest to a hotel, that's his business. If a pimp did, no. Girls weren't going to be turning tricks in the family establishment where the old ladies came to see our local town antique shops and cute parades. See, you can be a prostitute. You can be an addict. But you can't turn tricks in a room. You can't use or have illegal paraphernalia in a room. That's the rules, and if we catch that, we have to kick you out. If we think you're going to do that, we won't rent to you. Luckily, most of our activity was local flavor. Out-of-towners were usually all just marathoners, elderly vacationers, wedding guests, and construction workers. That local crowd was generally a circle of a bit unstable folks. They tended to live cyclically. You might be straight homeless, but often you're bumming on a friend's couch or you got a gig for a while. Maybe, even mentally, you're a bit more stable for a while and save up some money and clean up. Then you want to stay at a hotel for a stint. If you're an addict, it might be fine for a bit. But inevitably, you have cash. When you have the cash to buy a room, you have the cash to buy drugs too, and you mess up. For a while, maybe it's only secretly feeding your habit, but inevitably you go on a giant bender in the room. In the process, you utterly destroy it with a story of epic horror, or cause a disturbance that involves police and you get on the blacklist. Maybe an acquaintance is more stable. Maybe they're never going to wreck a room. But they have poor judgment too. They are usually hanging with this circle doing it too, and offering the couches. They make the mistake of helping a friend and letting their blacklisted buddy, who was blacklisted for a reason, sneak in. They might get away with it once or twice if the friend is stable, but then that friend messes up again and causes a problem, or we catch them sneaking them in. Unfortunately, we can't rent to you now either. so now you're also blacklisted. Sometimes folks on the list truly cleaned up for a long stint. They'd want to stay in the extended stay portion in the low-demand time of year at dirt low rates. Sometimes my boss or manager had discussed it with them and let them. Sometimes it blew up. Sometimes it worked out. Sometimes it worked out for a really long time, then blew up. Sometimes it just worked out permanently, which was rare. It does seem like hotel workers, and especially motel workers, deal with a whole lot. I definitely would not want to be the person dealing with all kinds of people at the lowest points of their lives. It's a pretty intense cycle to observe, and it just goes to show how much goes on behind the scenes at these places that we often don't think about. Story 7. I worked at the front desk of a large convention hotel, one of the big hotel brands. The lobby bar was right across from the front desk. One night as I was working at the desk and checking someone into their room, these two drunk guys at the bar got into a fight. They were really going at it, beating the crap out of each other. They spilled out into the lobby and one guy picked up a bar stool, and just like in the movies, he crashed it down over the other guy's head. Unlike in the movies, the bar stool didn't splinter into pieces. It was solid wood, and he bashed the other guy hard. The guy that got hit went down like a sack of potatoes. He was out cold, bleeding all over the place from a large head wound. I got to sit and watch as the cops and paramedics came. They arrested them both and patched up the one guy's busted head. Meanwhile, I still had guests checking in, wondering what kind of hotel they had booked. I can only imagine the looks on the faces of the guests checking in. It's like, "Welcome to our hotel, enjoy your stay, and oh, by the way, we offer complimentary bar fights in our lobby." Story 8. I was a night auditor several years back. Our usual extended stay clientele were traveling nurses, government contractors, or out-of-town veterans getting something done at the VA hospital. We had one guy and girl on the first floor for a few weeks that were odd. It took us a bit to realize it was a hooker and her pimp. Some John would come to see her, and the guy who rented the room would come out to hang in the lobby or go smoke at our fire pit. Our manager was a bit clueless and took longer to figure it out, but once she did, she went and knocked on the door to ask them to leave. He only cracked the door so she couldn't see inside the room. He had declined housekeeping for 2 straight weeks, but she managed to see an office chair behind him that had 2 handguns and a huge Rambo knife on it, so she called the cops. I came up later that day to pick up my check to find that the cops had surrounded the building. It turns out he had barricaded himself in the room and held the prostitute hostage, so SWAT had to come tear gas him through the window and use a battering ram to get inside. The owners fired our manager for that, for letting the sex work go on so long and the optics of cops swarming our hotel. Story 9. Management sent me up to a room they knew contained a pimp, big fur coat, grills, giant chains, and of course his employees. They did not warn me of this beforehand. If they did, I wouldn't have gone alone. His employees were both topless and apparently celebrating a birthday. They tried very hard to get me to join. I just needed them to not get another noise complaint, because I did not want to have to evict them. Story 10. I had some guests ask if there was any way to use the pool after hours, as our pool closed at 11 and they were checking in fairly close to midnight. I begrudgingly agreed, as I had homework to do and I thought I'd be nice, so I let them in. My mistake was not turning on the lights, which I left off to not make other guests who might happen upon it think it was open. So I let them in and proceeded to do my work and ignored them. After a while, I decided to check the cameras to see if they were still in there or if they had returned to their room. Upon looking at the cameras, I see them just going at it. At first, I didn't believe what I saw, but they were going to pound town. I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't want to be that guy to ruin their good time, but I still had my job to worry about. Since the lights were off and it was late, I just let things finish up. I did get a nice tip from them as thanks for letting them use the pool after hours. That was the first and last time I let people in the pool area after hours. It was an interesting night for sure. Story 11. I used to work third shift at a hotel while going to university. One weekend every summer, our city hosted a tournament for the National Softball Association for the Deaf. One night I got multiple noise complaints and went upstairs. In one of the rooms, a man and woman were going at it and making the loudest, most bestial sounds you could possibly imagine. You could hear it from 30 meters down the hall. They weren't answering the phone and obviously couldn't hear me knocking. I used a master key to crack open the door and was even more amazed at the pure volume and completely atonal and unabashed moans, grunts, and yowls. Being careful not to stick my head in, I reached inside the room and flipped the lights on and off, then pretty much ran away. It's a shame people complained, because I hated to interrupt what must have been a good time. Story 12. I work at a hotel that holds a 4-day adult biz convention every year. They blocked out all the rooms for only the convention because all the decor and ad space they brought in was of various forms of sexual acts. Naughty bits in the elevators, through the lobby, and even down to the coasters. Want a vodka soda? Here, put it on this cardboard picture of a very erect penis. The night before was always the best, because you would see all these sex workers quietly eating at the bar and dressed like they taught organic chemistry. Then that juxtaposed with the following evening of them quietly eating at the bar, glammed up with their stuff out. Or in the case of the one gentleman, every night during the last convention I worked, quietly pleasuring himself while staring off into the distance. The actual convention, aside from the decor, was tame. A lot of panels with guest speakers, most of the booths in the lobby area dealt with tech, and the day parties were mainly off-property. Except for the end-of-event party. That was always held on our rooftop, and I always worked it. There is so much cunnilingus on that dance floor. At the last party I worked at, I had to kick someone out for the first time while uttering a phrase I don't think I'll ever say again. Hey man, we've got complaints that you have been eating people's buttholes without their consent, and I'm going to ask you to leave. OP, you've got me feeling like I'm in the Twilight Zone. A 4-day adult biz convention at a hotel sounds like it'd be a riot, but it also sounds like a wild ride. I mean, naughty bits decor everywhere? You gotta love the commitment. It's like a sexual theme park and you're the park ranger trying to keep everything running smoothly. And this one guy who's just casually pleasuring himself at the bar like he's pondering the mysteries of the universe. That's just, wow. But hey, it sounds like the actual convention was pretty tame. Mostly tech booths and guest speakers. Until the end of event party, that is. I gotta say, OP, the phrase you had to use to kick someone out is definitely one for the history books. Story 13. I worked in a luxury hotel. We had a particular convention in town with guests who expected a lot of freebies because they were the Christian Men's Ministry group. The leader was a smug prick who convinced our rooms manager to give them the largest conference rooms for free so that their wives could spend the day doing Bible study. That afternoon, we had a father and his son tell us that they could hear a muffled scream coming from the room next to theirs, so we went up for a wellness check. Lo and behold, the religious ministries guy had called for a prostitute who brought her boyfriend. They tied him up in a sling hanging from the bathroom door frame, gagged him, robbed him, and stuck a double-ended toy in his butt. That's how we found him. It took multiple maintenance crews to be able to cut him down. He then tried to get us to comp more of their rooms because of our security failures leading to his assault, battery, and robbery. One of our staff let slip to his wife, their bookkeeper, what actually happened, and his complaints magically went away.